How y'all doing, Cowboys Nation? Paul Ryan back at it again, here with another late night video. The late night vibes are strong here lately. I'll keep it brief, guys, as usual. Again, slow part of the season. However, something interesting did come out about a Cowboys player, that player being Dak Prescott. And what came out was more so a ranking, if you will, by a former player who has had some interesting things to say, we'll call it, about Dak Prescott. That former player being Cam Newton. And Cam Newton has been on record saying some things like Dak Prescott is a bus driver, Dak Prescott is this, Dak Prescott is that. I don't have all the quotes in front of me, but more so saying that Dak Prescott, I think he was even saying that he didn't think that Dak Prescott is a franchise quarterback. I believe that's another thing that he said about Dak Prescott. Well, on his podcast recently, Dak Prescott actually got his flowers from Cam Newton, if you want to call it that. Cam Newton saying that he would take Dak Prescott over guys like Justin Herbert, who, if you've been listening to this podcast long enough, back in 2021, even after the embarrassing wild card loss to the San Francisco 49ers, I, on the Across the Cowboys podcast, said it didn't make any sense for Justin Herbert to be ranked ahead of Dak Prescott. And I still believe that. Now, I know Justin Herbert is probably more talented, and I know Justin Herbert is younger, but if you look at success in the NFL, there's no reason for Justin Herbert to be ranked ahead of Dak Prescott, especially in the playoffs, because guess what? Justin Herbert hasn't even won a playoff game. And guess what? He just got paid. Now, am I saying Justin Herbert's not a good quarterback? Of course not. But I found that interesting that some, people are starting to rank Dak Prescott higher, especially over guys like Justin Herbert, who for a couple of seasons now, a couple of years now, Justin Herbert was like, and Dak were not even in the same conversation. People would just kind of laugh at you if you even try to compare the two. Another quarterback that Cam Newton said he would take over Dak Prescott over was Kyler Murray. And I like Kyler Murray. If you listen to our latest episode, I had a lot of interesting things to say about the Arizona Cardinals. I'm a believer in Kyler Murray, especially in the talent. But if I had to choose between Kyler Murray and Dak Prescott to be my franchise quarterback, give me Dak Prescott, right? Because of the leadership skills. And, I think there's probably, if you look at their health concerns, they probably might have missed the same amount of games, maybe Kyler a few more, but yeah, especially just again with the leadership skills. And again, Kyler Murray, not that long ago, he got a big time contract, and with Justin Herbert did as well. Another player he said was Trevor Lawrence, and I can't disagree with that one either. I know Trevor Lawrence is a former number one overall pick. Excuse me, guys, I can't talk tonight. But again, what has he done? I know he had that horrendous rookie year with Urban Meyer, and then the following year with Doug Peterson, won a playoff game, came back and kind of had a miracle, if you will, comeback in the second half of a playoff game. And then last year was a game away from entering the playoffs again, but Trevor Lawrence hasn't really done that much either as far as had success in the NFL. Now, I know that he hasn't been in the NFL as long as Dak Prescott, but there's no reason to rank Trevor Lawrence above Dak Prescott in terms of just skill and success. Now, if you're talking about age and whatnot, then yeah, I mean, I guess you could. But if I had to choose, I would rather have Dak Prescott because of leadership skills. And then last but not least, this one kind of surprised me, but this was this last player. He said he'd rather have Dak Prescott over Jalen Hurts. Now, if you're talking about last year's Jalen Hurts, of course, that team was terrible. Jalen Hurts looked awful. He looked like he had regressed from potential Super Bowl winner to a guy that should he even be starting in the NFL. That one was surprising. Again, if you listen to the most recent podcast, we had not a debate, but we had a discussion about Jalen Hurts and Dak Prescott, and could Jalen Hurts potentially leap Dak Prescott in the quarterback rankings if he has a long playoff run and the Cowboys are one and done, or just don't win as many playoff games as the Eagles. Could Jalen Hurts leap Dak Prescott in the quarterback rankings? It was a good discussion. If you guys haven't seen the latest episode, I encourage you to go watch that, if anything, just for that one discussion, because it actually was a good discussion. Mike brought up some good points, and it's hard for me to disagree with how he would go about it if Jalen Hurts did win more playoff games than Dak this season and had a good regular season. But again, guys, go check that episode out. That being said, guys, it was nice to see Cam Newton giving Dak his flowers, showing Dak some respect from what I think might be the first time it seems like But yeah, man, I like seeing here lately guys like Cam Newton and other people finally realizing that Dak is actually a good player. Giving Dak the credit that he's earned and that he deserves. That being said, I hope everybody's having a good night, guys. I hope everybody had a good weekend. I am Paul Ryan, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.